Today's Q Plus broadcast is proudly presented by Super Cheap Auto, everything auto and much, much more. And Intrust Super, at your service.
In 2017, that man on screen, Benji Marshall, featured in the Intrust Super Cup, playing for the Redcliffe Dolphins when contracted with the Brisbane Broncos in that NRL season. The Dolphins were second on the ladder at the time when facing off against the Ipswich Jets in round 5 and featured a number of other NRL contracted talents such as Jonas Pearson, Tyson Gamble and Matt Lodge. For the Jets, who were coached by Ben and Shane Walker, speedy backs Wes Conlon and Michael Purcell were wreaking havoc, as was the long-time front row pairing of Billy McConaughey and Nat Neal.
His involvement is going to be really interesting as we see kick-off here in round 5 of the Intrust Super Cup.
It's Benji Marshall who puts boot the ball, and it's going to be Billy McConaughey with the first hit up of the afternoon. We always say it with the Ipswich Jets, expect the unexpected. If you haven't seen them before, then prepare to be entertained.
Or frustrated.
Combination of the two. First use of the football this afternoon for the Jets. Tyson Lafipo with a hit up. And there's Nat Neal, play that Scott highlighted in the pre-game. He's been an important cog in the Jets' wheel this afternoon. You see him in the middle now. He'll be on the fringe as well throughout the afternoon. He's capable. Threw that one in behind Sevi. And the kick finds touch. So somewhat of a conventional set from the Ipswich Jets to open things up this afternoon.
And I like seeing that, Pete, from the Ipswich Jets, just to get into a bit of a routine and a bit of a rhythm. Get the ball in hands. Get everyone just get used to being involved in the game early on. I like it when Ipswich just sometimes tuck the ball under their arm with McConaughey and Neal and those sort of players, and they just charge in the defensive line and build a bit of a platform. I like to see more of it.
First use of the football this afternoon for the home side. Marshall takes it out the back of the scrum. Thompson Tete with his first touch. Benji Marshall named at fullback this afternoon. And Scott, you've actually said you think that's his position now moving forward.
I think fullback and centre is his position late in his career, Pete. He started his career as a centre, a left centre at the West Tigers. Good offload there from Lodge.
Great ball from Lodge. Redcliffe on the front foot early. And Tuali earns his team a penalty, but that all started through a very good pass there just before the line from Matt Lodge.
And this is the danger for any side that comes up against Redcliffe. You think you're going to go toe-to-toe with Lodge, but he just plays before the line. He plays through the line. He's such a talent, this 21-year-old.
Bumped away then from Sam Martin. Now Tuali. Only 19 away here, Redcliffe, on the back of that penalty. Hanson and acting half. They go down the short side. Gamble with a cutout pass that Jonas Pearson just dives on, but it all went awry there for the Redcliffe Dolphins.
Well, they had numbers down this left-hand side, so they identified the right options. Richard Pandia just takes out Thompson Tete. Turns out in Ipswich favour.
No love lost between the two that probably played a fair bit of football together as well too. Richard Pandia and Thompson Tete.
Come together. Bend your backs, Benji, head in.
Special round this one for the Intrust Super Cup as well. It's Zadie's Foundation round. To find out more about Zadie's Foundation, go to the website zadie.org. There it is on your screen now. We'll tell you more about that as we head throughout the afternoon. So you'll see the referees wearing special socks today, along with some of the players as well. And shoelaces also. There's Nat Neal. Solid defence on the big Jet number 10. Beattie, Phillips. Had to reach that one, Capewell. Now to Sevi. Strong run. Pandia. Capewell. Phillips, long pass. Velicapa. And loses the ball in the end when it looked like he was trying to free the arms because Nat Neal was running through on the inside.
But this is where we talk about the frustration with the Ipswich Jets. Nemini Velicapa, he loves to take you off on the outside and then step off that big left foot. And I suppose what frustrates you the most with Ipswich is when they see half an opportunity, they'll try and play to it rather than early on in the game to say, hey, listen, I'm going to hold onto the ball, try and get some ascendancy, get to the end of the set.
You can take part in the coverage this afternoon. In fact, the Intrust Super Cup right across any weekend during the competition on Twitter at Intrust Super Cup. There's the hashtags for today's game, and also too on Facebook. Love getting all the comments on Facebook, facebook.com/Intrust Super Cup. All the many passionate fans across all the clubs in the competition. Anderson with a strong run into Jets territory now. The Dolphins. Is Lodge again to Marshall. Out the back they go. Jersey number 19 is Moses Pangai. He might be forced to touch here. Great defence, Ipswich. They came in numbers there on Moses Pangai. Led by Velicapa. Good defence.
It was impressive because they held off and they let Lodge play and they let Benji play and they just moved across in numbers, making sure the inside man was the most important defender. And eventually they just run out of space.
Good little clash, this one here nearest the camera, the two centres, Moses Pangai and Nemini Velicapa.
Yeah, the size of Pangai and the footwork of Velicapa.
Capewell. Nice pass to Sevi. Almost getting on the outside of his man as well there too. Thompson Tete has made the tackle with the help of their Tyson Gamble. Pandia. Well, he's lost 5 metres there and ran 20.
And that's what you've got to do against Ipswich. We've spoken about this on numerous occasions. A lot of people just seem to think if you sit back and just watch them play, but if you keep moving forward and keep moving forward, they end up running out of room. And it's exactly what happened then with Pandia. Redcliffe just continued to move forward defensively as Lafipo, who you'll see as a big man's got very good late footwork before the defensive line.
Good inside ball there from Capewell. Finds Sam Martin. Workaholic in this Jets team. Last play coming up. Chance for an attacking kick here. Phillips puts it in. They're going to have to watch out because Purcell was coming back, but he's rock solid there. Josh Behag. Always improving as an outside back for the Dolphins. He was there to clean up. Just have a look at the pace there of Michael Purcell, who was running out after it. Didn't get the bounce. The Dolphins are going to have to be awake to him this afternoon. Lodge with a hit up. It's Troy Geese. Found its way there to Thompson Tete. Last one here for Redcliffe. The kick from outside the 40. Conlon tried to get on the outside of his man. Now, a bit of a problem in back play here for Moses Pangai, who might have copped a stray boot or a leg there of Wes Conlon as he was running through. Well, Dane Phillips has threw that one in behind Mitch Carpenter, not doing his lock forward any favours there. Poor pass out of dummy half.
It was a poor option to go down the short side in the first place. They go to ball to Velicapa on a sideline with 3 defenders in front of him. and straight away you corner all the plays after that. The next ruck after that is very easy for the defence to get off their line, put pressure on the runner, and then when you get a pass that goes behind you, it makes it even more difficult.
A good opportunity here for the home side. No score on the board after 9 minutes. The Intrust Super Cup live and free on this Sunday afternoon. Pangai. Behag now at dummy half. As Dolphins went down a short side. Hazza gives it to Tuwali. Good run there from Miles Tuwali. Right in centre field. Hansen makes 10 metres. Big opportunity here for the Redcliffe Dolphins. 10 metres away, right in front of their leagues club. They go left. Lodge. Hard run there from Geese. Good defence though. Still a couple of tackles left in this set. Now Gamble edging towards the line. Good defence, Carpenter in there, along with Pandya. Last play coming up. Long pass from Hazard to Marshall, room to move. Benji Marshall puts the grubber kick in. Behag's after it, he'll score. Well, he set 2 up last week, Benji Marshall, and he's set the first one up this afternoon for the Redcliffe Dolphins. Josh Behag grabbing the first 4-pointer of the day.
Yeah, it's one of his greatest assets, Benji Marshall, his ability to have great vision, to look to the outside. Look at a little pass here. Shows the pass, gets the defence coming up. You saw Wes Conlon come up there because he thought that he was going to throw the pass. Drifts a beautiful deft kick through the line, and Behag opens up the scoring for Redcliffe.
Australia, meet your new McCafe blend. Roasted and blended in Melbourne. Smoother, richer, and crafted for Aussies who love great coffee. The new McCafe blend. Now that's coffee fit for an Aussie.
Fafita, he's already got 2! Put him down for 3!
There's so much happening on the field, make sure you witness all the action. You won't miss a moment if you drink wise.
Josh Behag, the try scorer, he's 3rd of the season. Mentioned earlier, Scott, always improving as a player, Josh Behag. I really enjoyed watching him play here for the Dolphins.
Yeah, he's amongst a lot of players that have got bigger names in the game, that have had NRL experience. But he seems to be one of those players that just becomes far more dependable week in, week out. And his stocks improve every week because his urgency to everything that he puts his mind to always comes off with a positive result. Missed out on the grand final last year.
He did,
didn't he? Yeah.
He's got a tough task here. 1.5 metres in, and he shanked that. Lucky we didn't wrap him before his goal kicking, because that one was well wide. But good start for the home side. Pete Bedell, sideline.
Geez, that looked like one of my attempts, Salty, but I've got to say, the Ipswich side, they haven't done their homework here. If they watched last week's game against Townsville, this is the type of play that Benji Marshall produced. A grubber kick for Behag, who scored. He did it last week. He did it again today. That is the value of experience. And you watch Marshall when he goes to the line, he lifts the tempo of the side. They've started well.
Short kick-off and a knock-on here from Tyson Gamble. So it works this time for the Ipswich Jets.
You look at Benji Marshall with that kick, as we see the short kick-off here again that we see every game with the Ipswich Jets. It's hard to defend against, but the way that Benji kicked that ball, and he's put a lot of practice into it over the years. He intentionally kicks on an angle on the point of the ball, so the ball actually curls around to the right for his winger. Normally, if you put in the angle that he was kicking that ball, it would go towards the dead ball line, but the angle he puts it on makes it easier for the attacking player to run onto the ball. It's an amazing skill that comes with a lot of practice. It is here. So he kicks on that ball, just on the edge of that inside toe of that ball, so it curls around to the right.
Play on. It's okay.
Ipswich looking to mount an attack, and they do. Purcell's through. He'll be hard to beat, but a good step backing up on the inside is Wes Conlon. Well, the Ipswich Jets How about that for an attacking raid?
Well, he's only 75 kilos, Michael Purcell, playing at fullback at the moment. But the way that he runs the ball, he's got this uncanny knack of being able to get through the line. It's an offload here from McConaughey. And then Purcell just drifts across the field. When you've got speed, you can drift and just look for a lazy defender. And he does that as he gets on the outside of Moses Pangai. And Wes Conlon and Purcell, they're always side by side somewhere on the field, and he comes up with the first try for the Jets here this afternoon.
At Super Cheap Auto, you can shop whenever you want because we're open 24/7 online. It's super easy to use our click and collect service or grab free delivery with orders over $99. Gotta love that.
Ice break. Bring it on!
Luke Capewell looking to convert the try by Wes Conlon. Makes no mistake from right in front, and Pete Bedell, the Ipswich Jets, hit the front.
Well, that's just what they needed, Salty, and a beautiful piece of play there by Michael Purcell. He actually reminds me of the Sharks great David Peachey in his ability to ghost across field and either break the line himself or pick up runners. And on this occasion, he does just that. He picks up Wes Conlon, and great play there by Conlon. It's good to see him moving well. He snapped his ACL 18 months ago, but he's moving well now. The Jets are back.
It's a good example. David Peachey plays exactly like him. Just drifts across, looks for a lazy defender. I think they can probably get some results by working on Moses Pangai, a bigger man. It takes a bit longer to get going. So if Purcell and Conlon can work on the outside of Pangai, they'll get some points.
Now the Jets responding to that try that was scored by Josh Behag, and now the one for Wes Conlon has seen them now hit the front by two as Lafipo. Good club man Tyson Lafipo. The Jets, when he was out injured, spent time as a trainer. Here's Conlon again, finds Nat Neal. Velakapa, back to Conlon. Here they are, the Ipswich Jets, the entertainers. And straight in the hands of Jonas Pearson, who's away. Well, they can entertain, they can frustrate, but you never know what's going to happen with the Jets. The one person who did know what was going to happen was Jonas Pearson, who was jotting on the spot with a loose ball. And they're back in front, the Dolphins, by two with a kick to come.
Well, it's on the back of some offloads. And Jonas Pearson does a great job defensively here because it could have gone any way. Starts here with Nathaniel Neal, and Velakabi gets back to Conlon. Then he just drifts across the field like Michael Purcell does. He sees the overlap here, Jonas Pearson, and gets up into the defensive line to try and shut that off. It's smart play by Pearson. Well done. Good speed.
Certainly was. Jonas Pearson, the try scorer. Great angle of it there.
Well, from that other angle, that top angle that we had, if Jonas Pearson just hung back about a metre or two, that ball gets on the outside of him. Ipswich are down that right-hand touchline. So it was great vision and awareness by Jonas Pearson to put pressure defensively on the attack.
One of the many outside backs looking for an opportunity to get into the Broncos team at some stage. And the radar, well, it's not turned on at the moment for Josh Behag. 0 from 2 for him with the boot. Good stuff there from Jonas Pearson. He ran straight past you, Pete Bedell.
Well, Behag's radar's off, and so is Wes Conlon. That was a disappointing pass. The idea was right, but the execution was wrong. And what about this man, Jonas Pearson? He's been compared to former Broncos winger Jarrell Yo-Yo. He's got 23 tries in 28 games. You can see why.
Oh, what a take! If you don't mind, Tyson Gamble in the gully. Takes a screamer. Classic catches there. Benji Marshall, he must be thinking, what am I up against this afternoon? Great take. Right off the meat of the bat. Got down low. Terrific catch. Got some Dean Jones flying around. With David Warner. The Dolphins on the front foot. So strip, 2 in the tackle.
I don't think that was a strip then. I just think with Lodge holding the ball up in the force of the tackle, I think it's just been dislodged here, knocked backwards. So I don't think it's actually been played at by McConaughey.
The Dolphins on the front foot. Geese. Oh, good contact. Mitch Carpenter. Rattled Troy Geese. Now Anderson.
Good run.
Only 10 away. Misguided pass from Hazard. Now Pangai shrugging away from defenders. Moses Pangai got the arm free. There's no support though. And here's another penalty coming.
Hey, walk away. Walk away. They're going to have to be careful, Ipswich, because Wes Conlon on this left-hand side, whenever it looks as though it's going to go 2 passes, he rushes out of the line. So the kick option behind for like their first try is always on. So Michael Purcell's going to have to work hard.
Lodge with the offload. And Hansen couldn't handle it. He was under a bit of pressure.
I think we'll see that again if it comes down this right-hand side for Redcliffe Salty. We'll see a replay here, the offload from Lodge. I think Benji Marshall will identify that Conlon's getting out of the line really hard, and he'll put another kick in behind for Behag. You can have your winger get out of the line and put pressure. Your fullback's just got to be willing to cover more ground in behind the defensive line if that's going to be the case.
Well, at the conclusion of this game, we're going to take you to ANZ Stadium in Sydney. It's James Tedesco up against Josh Dugan. Entertaining clash coming up with the West Tigers up against St George Illawarra Dragons. Live and free on Nine's Wide World of Sports. Benji Marshall will be an interested spectator in that game. His 2 former clubs. Looking forward to watching that one at the conclusion of this game this afternoon. Jets finding it hard coming out of their own half at the moment. That ball went to ground. Play on the call. Now Pandia is going backwards. Looks to straighten. Geese is in there along with Tuwali to make the tackle. Phillips.
That's a good option, one tackle early, because their set was going nowhere there.
Pearson, oh, shot on Jonas Pearson from Billy McConaughey.
Madness, Billy McConaughey, he scares me. He frightens me. Watch this. He's shot out of a cannon.
What a hit. Got up straight away, Jonas Pearson. There's more solid contact there. Fighting it above his body weight there, McCurry Beatty. With the initial contact on Lodge. Anderson goes short to Tuwali. Last one here for the Dolphins. Hazard. The kick comes now. Still the last, says the referee. Behag, he's going to be wrapped up. So a changeover coming to the Jets. It just went all awry there for the Dolphins on the last.
This might sound silly here with Josh Behag getting caught on the 5th tackle then, but I've got no doubt at some stage there he thought, if I throw a pass, a silly pass, or put in some innocuous kick, Ipswich are probably the one team that could pick up some loose ball and take off into the backfield. So to be tackled on the last tackles, probably not a bad option there.
Our match day sponsors, no drama buying a car this afternoon. The Redcliffe Dolphins, thanks to Village Motors, Dolphins' major sponsor and home of Holden, Nissan and Renault. Visit villagemotors.com.au. And for the Ipswich Jets, choose, own and use your vehicle with confidence at Llewellyn's with 4 of Australia's most loved brands. Appreciate the support of all of our match day sponsors, of course, right across the Intrust Super Cup.
Just again, Sevi there, flicking at a ball that's just not needed. Take the tackle.
Let's go, lock.
Saying for the Jets to simply take the tackle. There's Adam Mogg. He's the coach of the Redcliffe Dolphins. Pete Bedell sideline.
Yeah, just too many unforced errors at the moment from the Jets. And the problem is, guys, they're losing the ruck. You can see the size of this Redcliffe team. They are monstering them in the middle third. Guys like Lodge and Tuali, they're just dominating the middle third, and that's giving Redcliffe the latitude to dominate.
And Pete, just while you are there, you can really start to see it, can't you? They must be feeling at a ground level, the Jets forwards in and around the middle, the Redcliffe starting to assert their authority on the game in the middle. Yeah,
their line speed has dropped off, Salty, the Jets. They're really starting to feel the pinch of this heat, and if they don't improve their service at dummy half, they're going to get hurt today.
Marshall. Oh, great ball. Geese, he's through, he'll score. Pretty much just what you were talking about there, Pete. Troy Geese goes in to score the try for the Dolphins as they extend their lead. 12 points to 6 with a kick to come.
Yes, the runner is more important than the deliverer of the ball here. And Troy Geese runs a beautiful option here for Benji Marshall. Which Benji Marshall just holds the ball up here, just there. Just straightens the line of attack and commits Sam Martin, which allows Troy Geese to get one-on-one. And a good determined run there for the stalwart to score here this afternoon.
New 4X Dry. They're nice.
Troy Geese, the try scorer, he's third for the season. I'm sure Benji Marshall is throwing passes like that on a regular basis. He'll have more, if not for the rest of the season, than for at least maybe for the rest of the afternoon as well. Beautiful pass from Benji Marshall to send Troy Geese away for the try. Now, can he get the radar working here? Josh Behag, he does. Gets one from the sideline. Gets the Bronx cheer from the crowd as well. 14-6, they're out to an 8-point lead, Pete Bedell.
Oh, he's back, Salty, and so is this man, Benji Marshall. What about that pass for Geese? I'll tell you what, if he stays in this Redcliffe team this year, Benji Marshall, he can take them to the competition. A beautiful play. And what about Troy Geese? He's been around the block 145 games, but he's a real journeyman and an inspiration.
Short kickoff doesn't work on that occasion. Christian has it. He's got room here, has it? He's through. Christian has it. Got support. Dummies. Gives it to Gamble. Gamble's wrapped up. They're in a mood now, the Dolphins. On the front foot. Hansen wrapped up there by Conlon. A little bit of momentum gone out now. They're 30 metres away. It's only tackle 2. Anderson knows only one way, and that's straight and hard. Marshall holds the pass, fires one out to Jonas Pearson, who's in the touch.
Again, Benji Marshall with the ball in hand. He's like a magician. As you see the replay of the kickoff here, and Christian Hazard makes a good incision up the middle of the field. He threw more dummies than...
Come on, say it.
Salty's bedside table.
Then you find in the chemist shop.
But with Benji Marshall, he's always got this great ability to double pump. He'll pump short as if you're going to hit your first runner. And he's got this great ability to use his wrist to fire nice flat balls. Probably wasn't the right play, but it looks spectacular. But what it does do, it gets you to ask questions down the track as a defender. Is he going to play short? Is he going to play long?
Pandia. Now Neal, juggles it. Just doesn't maintain possession. Anderson dives on it here for Redcliffe. Danger times here now for Ipswich. Marshall puts a hit through on the first tackle. Flicks it in. What about that? Goodness me! The try will be scored. What great skill. First up by Marshall, then from Behag, and the try will be scored.
Can you just check onside, touchline, please?
Oh, well, he's onside. And again, it's just the vision the skill and the risk that Benji Marshall has always taken in his career. He knows that the fullback is not back there because they've just turned over possession. Josh Behag's onside, but look at the work here from Behag. Does he stay in? That right foot is in the field of play. That is spectacular play there by Josh Behag to get the ball back to Moses Pengai.
What about this?
And great work from Behag to be alert enough to know that Benji Marshall was going to play that play and not just sit back and wait for the pass.
That is absolutely superb. The try's been scored. Moses Pengai, the try scorer. But two magnificent pieces of skill from Benji Marshall and then Josh Behag.
And again, Pete, it's the kick. It's the kick on the outside of the ball there. Just allows it to curl around to the chaser. And normally, like I said, people will put that grubber through. He'll just go straight towards the dead ball line. But it's just the skill of this man. And Golden Boot winner. We've got to remember, this guy was voted the best player in the world at one stage. And he's still, you don't lose those skills. Yes, you lose some speed, but you never lose those skills.
Attempt to convert coming around, but not quickly enough there for Josh Behag. 18 points to 6. Well, just sit back and enjoy this replay, Pete Bedell.
Oh, what about this, Salty? This is at the Intrust Super Cup. It's the Moscow Circus. How good was that? That was unbelievable by Josh Behag. The acrobatic nature of that to bat the ball in field. Moses Pengai was jolly on the spot. That's his first try for Redcliffe. They're in trouble here, the Jets.
And the kickoff just goes 10. And Redcliffe will regather.
Am I the only one that's frustrated at the moment, or is everyone else? Like, they get the ball back here, but
well,
I know Gamble plays for the Redcliffe side, but they toss the coin, don't they?
They do.
Let's go, Redcliffe, come on.
They do, Ipswich. Frustrating.
You know, I'd love to, I know I keep repeating myself. I'm not going to apologise for it, but I want to see Ipswich get into an arm wrestle. I want to see them get into the trenches because I think they've got some players in their forward pack that would really appreciate a battle that's just amongst your forwards.
There's a kick on the first, flying out after it is Sebi, but they've got cover at the back there to Redcliffe, Benji Marshall.
Short-term solution, doesn't work. Not when you've turned over your last 3 or 4 sets.
Hold him, hold!
The fullback was back there.
He's 10 in. Good play.
Coming out of their own half now. Mick Sliney on the field for the Redcliffe Dolphins.
As they're coming out of trouble, Pete, you look at the depth of this Redcliffe Dolphins club, because in the match before this they had Zach Strasser, Taylor Brown, Jack Ahern, Curtis Johnston, Sebastian Pandia. He's playing for Ipswich, I should say, but some great depth there for Redcliffe with those players that can't make their Intrust side.
You mentioned Sebastian Panda playing in the BRL for Ipswich. Is his brother, Richard Pandia.
Second marker, 16.
There's Lachlan Rowe. His size about Rowe coming off the bench for Ipswich.
He was actually on the NRL rookie show, Lachlan Rowe.
Oh, good offload. Carpenter. Oh, Valacarpa had Conlon on his outside. Behag had been committed. If he got the pass away, Conlon might have been away. Here he is now. Where's Conlon? Finds a straight runner in Lafipo. Good offload too there from Tyson.
Give him room.
Beattie will get up and play it. Here's a bomb from Phillips. Chase is coming out. Sam Martin's lining up. Benji. Oh, Purcell! What about that? Michael Purcell!
Well, did he promote
like
the ball?
Like a thief in the night.
Did he promote the ball forward? Because the rule says you're not allowed to promote the ball forward.
Just confirm onside, please.
You're going to check onside.
Well, I hope it is a try, and it should be a try, because it's great skill by Purcell, but We also see that rule that you're not allowed to promote the ball over a defender or over a player.
Both onside, just. You see it was Tyson Martin, it is.
Yeah, no, he's
and
attempted
right.
to catch that. That's a great try.
Oh, what a try.
It's a lonely place back there, isn't it, as a fullback?
Like a thief in the night, Michael Purcell.
Just remarkable. Oh, shot. What a tackle.
Try awarded, our video referee Michael Wise this afternoon, and Nick Morrell points to the spot. So just like that, back in the contest, Ipswich, 18-10 with a kick to come.
As you see there, Purcell sitting in the inside of Dane Phillips. A set play with Purcell chasing through, and Sam Martin also putting some pressure on Benji Marshall. As I said, it's such a lonely place back there as a fullback when you can hear the footsteps coming.
I think the player too he was most looking at was Sam Martin, who was coming in from his right and thinking, bracing himself for impact once he caught the ball.
We just know it's going to hurt. Either way, you take possession of the ball, you're going to be hit by a defender. As Catewell moves in, no problems with that kick at all. 18 points to 12 in favour of the Dolphins, and the Jets, with no possession or no completed sets, are in a pretty good position.
How is it, Pete Bedell? They're only trailing by 6, Ipswich.
Well, anything Redcliffe can do, well, Ipswich can do better. Perhaps Salty. That was fantastic play by Michael Purcell. He has been an inspiration this season. They call him the kangaroo catcher. He jumped like Skippy then. He scored 10 tries in the BRL in consecutive weeks. How about that 2-5 try hauls? And he's now got 17 tries in 20 games for Ipswich. He's a freak.
Pace that he showed. Great pace. Here's Rowe. Well wrapped up. 7 minutes left in the half, and despite being outplayed in a lot of areas, the Jets, and there's their coaches, Ben and Shane Walker, Ben in the sunglasses, only trailing by just that one converted try. Good contact there on Neil. Manson in there, Anderson in there as well. And there's a mistake. A drop coming from Carpenter. On the halfway line, the Dolphins.
Yep. Get looking inside, pressure.
Torelli. He gets a good offload. Marshall. Inside there to Natira. Rule on Natira. Torelli. Ken Redcliffe re-established their authority on the contest. 16 metres away. Marshall. Long pass. Finds Behag on the bounce. He puts a kick through. And it'll go dead.
I was going to say earlier on, sit back and marvel at Benji Marshall's left to right pass. Usually it's right to left for any ball player, but he's got this beautiful left to right pass where he just throws it flat. It's a bit like Mitchell Moses playing for the West Tigers. It's always powerful, the pass, and gets to its target in the shortest amount of time.
Penalty coming to Ipswich. Scott, you played with Benji. Was it his first year of first grade? Second year of first grade? Did you see these skills then, or is it something that has more developed over time? We saw how good of a runner of the football he was early with the Tigers, but how much has he worked on his game?
Well, in year 12 in 2003, they used to travel down from Kebra Park, and he ended up playing a handful of games for the West Tigers. But in 2004, it was his first full season, played left centre. Tim Sheens didn't want to introduce him to the game too much in an important position like in the halves. You could see from day one, and it was clearly evident, that his skills were far ahead of anyone else that had played 150, 200 first grade games. It was quite amazing to sit back and watch on the training field. And highly intelligent as well.
Good.
Phillips, long pass, Valacapa. Sort of flick there to Conlon. Now Neal. Nat Neal. He almost poked his head through the line there too, despite being forced backwards initially. Now that's could be 6 more tackles. It is. Phillips. Husky Tortoise out there now for Ipswich. Capewell. Phillips. Carpenter. They're building here. Well, I was about to say they're building for something here, Ipswich. And there's a mistake.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's the second drop for Carpenter here this afternoon when they got themselves in really good field position. Just trying to get up too quickly to play the ball.
Let's go, Ipswich, come on. Let's go, let's be quicker.
Look at that completion rate, 8 from 15 and they're 6 points behind. I mean, the Dolphins aren't much better, but they've had a lot more possession, the Dolphins, and in better field position than the Jets as well.
Yeah.
A couple of those uncompleted sets from Redcliffe too have come when they've been on the attack and players pushed in a touch.
I'll keep it.
Pangai.
I'd like to see Marion Sevi, the right-hand centre for Ipswich, brought him over to his left-hand side to play on Pangai. Likes to get on the outside, a little bit more speed than Valacapa.
Behag, well wrapped up there. You're just tuning in and you missed one of the great tries in the Intrust Super Cup early on this season anyway. We'll show it to you during the halftime break. Josh Behag scoring, setting one up rather I should say, for Moses Pangai. Oh. What about that contact? Lodge and still gets the pass away to Hansen. Last tackle coming up here for the Dolphins.
Left side good.
Marshall puts it high. Pandya's there and takes it very well in the end. There's Richard Pandya.
That looked awkward. Big forwards now working in partnership to try and not allow this Ipswich side to get out of their 20-metre zone and get a kick in. They might get one set. Maybe at 4 tackles, Redcliffe, when they get the ball back after the kick from Ipswich. So trying to get that in the best field position possible.
Needed that run from Pandy, a good strong run, because they were going nowhere. Beatty. He's wrapped up. Capewell. Kicks from inside the 40, but he's kicked it straight down the middle of the ground. Behag will field it. Into the final minute and a half. Almost lost control of the ball there, Josh Behag. Thought about an offload as well. Hazard. Now Pangai into Jets territory. 28 seconds left in the half. It's tackle 3. And Marshall gets the ball from Lodge. The step from Benji. He set a couple up. Now he scores. He's got all the skills. He's got the step. That hasn't gone away. He scores a great try right on halftime.
Oh, don't we love seeing that? Now, I know we all keep focusing a lot on Benji Marshall, but look at the ball here from Matt Lodge. No look pass on the inside. It was a set planned play here by Benji Marshall and Matt Lodge. And that big left foot step shows good speed, good evasive skills to get around Purcell and score right on the stroke of half time. That's just sit back and just watch how beautiful this play is.
That's great work. Great work from Benji Marshall.
That hurts.
Well, he owed Michael
Right on
Purcell.
half-time, that hurts.
He owed Michael Purcell one, who got one on him just before. Makes no mistake there, does Josh Behag. So at half-time here at Dolphin Oval, it's the Redcliffe Dolphins who have that 12-point lead.
Ice break. Bring it on!
We just can't afford new jerseys this year.
This is amazing. Number 5.
Australia, meet your new McCafe blend. Roasted and blended in Melbourne. Smoother, richer, and crafted for Aussies who love great coffee. The new McCafe blend. Now that's coffee fit for an Aussie.
At Super Cheap Auto, you can shop whenever you want because we're open 24/7 online. It's super easy to use our click and collect service or grab free delivery with orders over $99. Gotta love that.
Entertaining first half. What does the second 40 have in store for us? We're about to find out as we're underway with the Dolphins leading by 2 converted tries. The short kick-off could pay off here. Well, I was about to say for Ipswich, but Redcliffe nearly pounced on it, but they do get the ball back on their own side of halfway from a short kick-off. The only team in rugby league that could do that, the Ipswich Jets. Now Beattie going across field.
I like what they've done defensively, Redcliffe, in this game. I mentioned it really early on. Their defender about 3 in, usually the halves. They get up really hard from the outside. They really hold their position and force Ipswich back infield.
Carpenter, after some confusion, he got the ball. Neal. Into Dolphins territory. First set of 6 of the second half. Rowe. He pops one out the back. And here they go through Sevi. Looks to straighten. Last one coming up here for Ipswich. He's hurt here, Marion Sevi. Grabbing at his leg. Let's take the opportunity to head down to the sideline, find out what both coaches had to say at the halftime break. Here's Pete Bedell.
Yes, Salty, just some messages from the Sheds. First, Ipswich co-coaches Ben and Shane Walker. They said Benji Marshall is destroying us. We have to nullify him somehow. Watch him at every opportunity. They're actually not too disappointed with the error rate of their side. They said we've just got to continue to back ourselves in attack and play our way. Redcliffe coach Adam Mogg, he's been a little bit disappointed. He just said, we've got to play our brand of football. That means getting in the faces of Ipswich, dominating the ruck, winning the middle third, and if we do that, we win this game.
This doesn't look good, Pete.
No, you can just see on a replay that we showed while Pete was giving us the halftime wrap there that ankle just twisted.
Under the weight of the players. The players come across here just on his right leg here. Left leg, I should say.
Yeah. He's trying to get to his feet, but in a fair bit of pain here. Marion Sevi, such an important player for the Jets. He's about to be carried from the field. 24-12, Dolphins leading Ipswich.
Australia, meet your new McCafe blend. Roasted and blended in Melbourne. Smoother, richer, and crafted for Aussies who love great coffee. The new McCafe blend. Now that's coffee fit for an Aussie.
New 4X Dry. They're nice.
Yeah, not a good sight to see Marion Sevi making his way from the field. Pete Bedell will get us an update very soon. So he's in the hands of the Jets trainers. They make the change.
Nick, stand square, please. Nick, lock in. Stand square, not to the side.
And eventually we'll have the last tackle of the first set of 6 of the second half. Phillips puts the kick high. Marshall's there underneath it. Goes up high, drops it, and it'll be a knock-on. Scrum feed coming the way now of the Ipswich Jets.
Well, he did one thing right here, Benji Marshall, compared to what his attempt in the first half. He actually got up and got good height on that ball. But just misdirected his jump. He's a little bit too far away from the ball. If he's a little bit close to the ball, he takes possession of that. But now we see Ipswich get another opportunity to get back into this game. Only 12 points behind.
I'll tell you when, Dane. Benji, head right in. Let's go.
Scrum feed 10 metres away from the line.
When you're ready.
That ball allegedly went into the scrum. Here we go through Capewell. 9 metres away now, the Jets. They score first, they'll give him a huge confidence boost. Beattie, Neal. Backs his way into the defence, does Matt Neal. Penalty coming. Beattie takes the tap, but he can't take it quickly inside the 10-metre zone.
Is it a bit like Jordan Kahu, not knowing the rules, or?
Keep moving.
Here's Lachlan Rowe, the big man, edging his way to the line.
Move up.
Beattie at acting up. Fires it past to Phillips. Now inside to Carpenter. He gets the legs moving. They're knocking on the door, Ipswich. Can they find a way through? Beattie, Phillips, Capewell, Luke Capewell. Threw the dummy there to Martin, but succumbed to the tackle. Troy Geese all over him. Now Phillips, rubbers to the goal area. They're flying through. Marshall just got there, or Hazard it was, who just got there ahead of Purcell. But they're building pressure here, the Ipswich Jets.
Yeah, but it's good defence by Redcliffe. They had to resort to the kick, and there were some chases coming through because they can't get through Ipswich. Can't get through the Redcliffe defence. What Ipswich are looking for is that second phase play. They jump onto the back of that, but at the moment, Redcliffe are wrapping up the ball. The defenders are staying up into the line in case there is an offload.
Drop out from Benji. Rowe with the hit up. And then they put a shot on Rowe. Rule on Natira. Big hit. And yeah, oh, solid contact. But he bounced away from Jonas Pearson, did Richard Pandia. He's still going. Now gets a pass to Purcell. How did he drag that in, Michael Purcell? Great piece of skill as the ball was behind him. Beattie. Now Phillips. Neal. Matt Neal gets up, tries to go again, and will go into touch. Good defence, Redcliffe.
Horrible attack, Ipswich. Yeah, they had Ipswich going on the back foot here as Pandia searches for an opportunity across field. But again, Jonas Pearson stays up in the line, forces him back inside. They had Redcliffe on the back foot down that left-hand side. Dane Phillips need to really dig into the line and take numbers to the line rather than throwing that cut-out ball, and it just pushes the attack towards the sideline.
Hardly had the ball this second half. The Redcliffe Dolphins. Thompson Tete. Marshall at acting half. We saw in that opening set of the second half, Marion Sevi went off injured. Let's get an update, see how he is in the hands of the Ipswich Medicos. Pete Bedell, sideline.
The news isn't good, Salty. He is out of this game. He's been assessed extensively. He's got an ankle problem. They were trying to get him right, but he's shaking his head. He won't be back for the second half. That's a blow for Ipswich.
It certainly is. Such an important player in their lineup. Nathan Galton is on the field in the centres, playing at right centre now for Ipswich. Last play coming up here for the Dolphins. High spiralling kick from Marshall. Pandy underneath it. Oh, takes it well.
Did he take that while he was sitting on the ground?
Yeah, pretty much. Like the kid in school where they just said, now sit down. He did. He took it well.
11 to the side. All the way, keep coming here.
Cross-legged too.
Cross-legs.
Very polite he is.
Offload to pretty much no one there from Carpenter. Neil.
It's just the mentality they got. They got the mentality, I've got to get rid of the ball. And
They turned it over. Redcliffe have got it. Now Behag. He got the offload there from Tete. 10 metres away. They're leading by 12 here, Redcliffe. First decent field position of the second half. Sliney, 10 metres away. They'll be hard to hold out here, the Redcliffe Dolphins. Now Hazard, they won't hold them out. They had to break Ipswich. Christian Hazard scores the opening try of the second half. And Redcliffe's got Sattler extend their lead. It was all too easy.
yeah, and they make it easy for them, Ipswich. Defensively here, they just had eyes for Brandon Lee on the right-hand side. He has it, just shapes to the outside. Dane Phillips just had eyes for the second rower, and Hazard, good vision, good speed, takes advantage of it, scores the first try of the second half.
At Super Cheap Auto, you can shop whenever you want because we're open 24/7 online. It's super easy to use our click and collect service or grab free delivery with orders over $99. Gotta love that.
Ice break. Bring it on!
He's loving starting the games this season, Christian Hazard, after being magnificent off the bench for them last year. He's really making that number 7 jersey his own, Scott, is Christian Hazard. He's been impressive starting off the season.
Yeah, he was great last year coming off the bench and really adding that injection of energy and enthusiasm, wasn't he? But he's always been a halfback. Spent some time at South Sydney as a late in his teens, 18, 19-year-old. And now he's come back and was at the Gold Coast Titans, and now at Redcliffe he's playing in a starting position, getting some time against mature age players as well as a young player is going to be great for his development. I think, as we've said a few weeks ago when we were last here, I still think he's an NRL player for a top 25 squad.
Josh Behag to try to add the extras, and he's missed it. So 28 points to 12, the score remains. Pete Bedell, sideline.
Well, this is the price you pay when you fail to build pressure. Ipswich, they've just been putting too much stress on their defence today, and we see the result there. Mitch Carpenter just too slow, big man against the little man. Hazard's got too much speed. He's been fantastic in the first 5 weeks. So he was a bit of a hooker last year, but he's thriving in the number 7 jumper. Got man of the match in round 1. He could get it again today.
I see that Billy McConaughey's come back on for Ipswich, and I like seeing that because he straightens their line of attack.
Well, they got to it. Ipswich, that Neil, but dropped it forward, so Redcliffe will get the scrum.
Well, he's a player, Billy McConaughey, that brings normality back into their game. The biggest fear for Ipswich, Pete, is that they're a little bit like the Bulldogs, where when the Bulldogs tried to revolutionise the forward movement in the NRL using the second halfbacks and a lot of ball movement. It was great. They got through to a grand final.
Come on, Benji. Let's go. Let's go, Nick.
But as the years have progressed, people have woken up to it, people have adapted to it, and people are outworking the Bulldogs on an easier basis now. I think that's what's happening with Ipswich and the style of play that they're continuing to play with.
Does it come to, do you think, that you can do it, but don't base the entire 80 minutes
100%
on it?
Absolutely. Again, I find it really refreshing, some of the periods of play that they do play it, but you can't do it for 80 minutes. It's not sustainable.
Penalty coming the way. They're saying a strip there on Matt Lodge as the ball came loose. And there's no doubt there was an arm in there. Husky Tortow helping that ball come free. 4-2 the penalties in favour of Redcliffe. Geese.
We've noticed that the last few weeks there hasn't been a lot of penalties in the game, which has been good. Just free flowing, allowing the game to flow a little bit more.
There's Natira. 16 metres away now. Redcliffe right in centre field. Good pass. Benji Marshall finds Moses Pangai. Tries to shrug away from some of the defenders. With Velacapa in there along with Nat Neal to make the tackle. Has it. Marshall. Short ball Lodge. Shorter ball Sliney. Now he passes on the ground. And Redcliffe. Turnover possession. Sam Martin there to pick it up for the Ipswich Jets as Velacapa looks to get on the outside of Pangai, who makes the tackle.
He'd be disappointed, Adam Mogg, with that set of 16 because they had the ability then to really put the nail in the coffin here.
A man that threw that one off the ground too, Nick Sliney. He is playing his 50th game today for Redcliffe.
Tackle 4.
Spent some time over in the UK. He's Capewell. Now Rowe going backwards. Tetse was putting pressure on him now. Tortow, Neal. Nat Neal. Well brought down there from Christian Hazard. Conlon puts a kick through. Purcell's out after it. Needs a bounce. And it's going to be taken dead there by Jonas Pearson.
They've got this great connection, Purcell and Wes Conlon. It seems as though that each knows what the other is going to do, and you don't see this on this vision here, but on the right-hand side, you can see that Wes Conlon was wanting to do something. Michael Purcell just instinctively pushed through the line, and Conlon puts the kick through. So they've got an amazing relationship, the two players.
Still plenty of time left in the contest for Ipswich, and they're a team that can score tries quickly. I think they're going to have to do it very soon. Oh, brace yourself for impact. Here's Billy McConaughey. Bang! Troy Geese in there to help make the tackle with Nick Sliney. He wound up from the back fence. Long pass into space. Now Conlon tries to get away from the defenders. Inside ball. And they've turned over possession on tackle 1, the Ipswich Jets. Marshall now. Marshall. Out they go. Sliney. Here to Jonas Pearson. He's down the touchline. Can they get him inside ball? And Tyson Lefepo dives on it for Ipswich. Well, if you want entertainment, you've got it. The Intrust Super Cup this afternoon, because now they're going to go again, Ipswich.
What about the no-look pass that we've seen for the last 13 seasons for Benji Marshall then? Commits the defender, no-look pass, gets the ball to the outside. Great passage of play.
And Nat Neal in big trouble. He's got an arm or a shoulder injury, you'd think. He's making his way from the field. That's a big loss for Ipswich. You can see him there in the hands of the trainers. One of those trainers, Kieran Lander. Wouldn't they love to have him out there this afternoon? Oh, good hand, Sam Martin. Oh, and then the offload and the turnover. And that was on tackle 3. So they got halfway through a set there, Ipswich.
Stand there, he's 10.
Lodge will play it.
Release him now!
Oh, there's a lost ball from Tyson Gamble. Hasn't been a polished performance for Redcliffe by any stretch.
Just have a look at this pass here from Benji Marshall. Gets onto a loose ball, uses his footwork, step to the outside.
Let's go.
As a defender, you look at the attack and you look where their eyes are going. And Benji Marshall's always had this knack of being able to commit the defender with his eyes and know that the player on the outside is going to be there for his pass.
Stand up.
Great to watch.
Pete Bedell sideline.
Let him
I'll
go.
get an update on Nat Neal in a second, but guys, I think it's crucial here for Redcliffe not to get sucked into the Ipswich way. Ipswich play a certain brand of football, but that is not the Redcliffe way. They've pushed the pass a few times today, the Dolphins, and they're best when they build pressure, and if they do that against an Ipswich team that are 2 men down, they'll win.
It's a really good point that Pete Bedell makes, is that, and Ipswich have been able to do that. They've been able to basically hypnotise sides into a false sense of security, and that's when they pounced on them.
McConaughey well wrapped up.
Stay square.
Phillips, Tortau, Lafipo. He pops one out the back. Beatty's there to clean up. Galton going across field. Again, the defence.
Great defence. They keep pushing up. Like I said before, if you hold back and watch them play in front of you, that's when they can really create some concerns.
Chris Ash is out there in jersey number 14. That's him with the ball. Now he gives it to Phillips. Dane Phillips collared there by Hanson, but gives a pass to Lafipo. Free calls held. Play the ball. Lafipo. Now Phillips. Plays in motion here. Little kick in behind the line is going to be well covered up there by Benji Marshall. He almost skipped away from the defenders that were there.
He's 10.
Talking to a couple of the Redcliffe Dolphins officials downstairs, and was talking about the game last week that Benji played for against the Townsville Blackhawks. And they commented about not what he did on the field, but what he did off the field after the game. He was out on the field for up to an hour, they said, signing autographs for kids. Just a great endorsement for the sport, and also for himself, Benji Marshall.
Well said. All the kids on the peninsula would have loved seeing him play in the Dolphins colours. Pete Bedell sideline.
Yeah, just an update on Nat Neal. I just spoke to the big fella himself from the horse's mouth. He says he's hyperextended his elbow. He did that the other week, so he's aggravated that injury. But he says, if they let me on, I'm going back on.
Not in a scrum.
He's a tough customer, is Nat Neal. Just look at him.
I've seen a little kid there standing in front of him with the black hat on. That's what I love about the Intrust Super Cup, that a kid from the crowd can just walk down and just watch someone get some treatment. Yes.
Fantastic stuff. Well, that was played at, and there'll be another scrum feed coming to the way of the Ipswich Jets. It's good to see, because there were rumours around that Nat Neal and Billy McConaughey haunt houses during the week. They're tough customers.
Glad you said it.
I'm up here. Now, Massey sponsors for this afternoon for the Redcliffe Dolphins, Village Motors. Thanks to Village Motors, Dolphins major sponsor and home of Holden, Nissan and Renault. Visit villagemotors.com.au. And for Ipswich, choose, own and use your vehicle with confidence at Llewellyn's, with 4 of Australia's most loved brands. The Jets on the attack. Here they go, Pandy running backwards, eventually goes forward. He's a very important player, Nat Neal. They'd love to have him out there at the moment, especially with Billy McConaughey back out there as well. 2 very important players for the Jets. He wants the ball here, McConaughey. You can just see him in the bottom corner of your screen, but they go the other way. Lafipo. Tyson Lafipo wrapped up, only 5 metres away. 2 tackles left in the set. Beattie. Now they're going to switch it. Oh, good inside pass there from Phillips to Purcell, but it was well read there by Nick Sliney. Now Phillips tries to put the grubber kick through. Now is that a penalty? Player in offside position it is. Ricocheted from one Dolphin into the other. Hanson to Geese.
Good defence, but wasn't it?
Yeah.
They're throwing plenty of questions at them, Ipswich. But they just keep turning up in numbers, Redcliffe. Look around that ball there. There's 4 players around that defender, that attacker there when the ball comes free.
They defended the unconventional and the conventional as well when that inside pass from Phillips to Purcell. Here's McConaughey. That's a great tackle from Billy McConaughey from Matt Lodge. Oh, Beattie wasn't awake there at dummy half. Eventually gets to it. Husky Torts out. Can he get the arms free? No, he can't. They shift to the left. Phillips, well wrapped up by his opposite number, the 2 number 7s colliding. Hazard there making the tackle. Conlon. Now Ash. Long pass from Capewell. Torts out. Husky Tordell. Good tackle. Good defence again from Redcliffe. Now Galton edging his way to the line. He's only a metre away. And a penalty coming. Interference there in the play of the ball.
You know who he reminds me of? Nathan Galton, the number 21 that's come on the right centre. Donald the Duck Malone.
Yeah.
Same size, built like him, runs like him.
Good call.
Great Ipswich, former Ipswich player, wasn't he?
Yeah. Here's Lafippo. Played for a number of clubs in the Intrust Super Cup. Beattie, long pass. Phillips. Ash, good tackle. Oh, what about that? Miles to Ellie, and then Josh Behag came in to lend a helping hand. That's a great hit. Phillips, the Harbour Bridge pass. Capewell, Tortow. Held on to the ball, lucky he did, would have been intercepted there. Takes the tackle. Now Beattie. Well, that could simply play on. No call coming from the ref. And Martin, the juggling act. How do you describe what you're seeing here from Ipswich? Plenty of ball movement. Ash. Oh, he had McConaughey making a run, left him alone. Now Capel might have some numbers here. They do. And Nathan Gorton, he's going to score a try. Eventually, for the Ipswich Jets, they cross over for their first 4-pointer of the second half. Is the comeback on the cards for the Ipswich Jets? Scott Sattler as Nathan Gorton scores.
Well, they've been trying hard all afternoon, haven't they? A lot of ball movement again. Starts on the left-hand side. I like what young Ash, the 14, Chris Ash, has brought to the team since he's come onto the field. Passes out in front. They just get numbers. That's all it is. The passes get to the outside and the passes are out in front, so the receivers are on the front for a great try there by Nathan Galton.
New 4X Dry. They're nice.
Good try there for Nathan Galton, the first of his Intrust Super Cup career. Finished it off well. Yep. Well, Wes Conlon's got the boots here to kick this one over, and starts it right, won't get it coming around enough, but they're back in the contest here, Pete Bedell, the Ipswich Jets.
Oh, they certainly are. Just when you think Redcliffe are going to bolt away, Ipswich just hang around like a bad smell. This was good ball movement. They first went left, then they moved to the right. Good read there by Capewell. And what about this man, Galton? It's his first try in the Intrust Super Cup in his 5th game. Well done. Could it get the Jets back in the game? I think it has.
Just go back to that number 14 for Ipswich. Chris Ashton's come on the field. Salty, you spoke about him before the game.
I'm a fan of him. I think he offers a lot.
I like his involvements really early on. He seems to always be on the front foot. He seems to be trying to dig in the line a little bit more than what both Phillips and Kate will have this game.
And played number 9 as well. He's turned himself in the last 12 months into a very important player in the Ipswich lineup. Speaking of Ipswich, a shout out to someone I know is watching. There he is, Chris Ash, watching this afternoon. Former Jets player Steve Johnson, the chairman of the Jets, told us about Junior Togia earlier today, suffering one of the most wretched illnesses that's around the place, motor neurone disease. Hope you're enjoying the afternoon this afternoon, and a recent birthday too for Junior Togia. Played with Ipswich in the 90s, and the whole of the rugby league community certainly thinking of you, Junior, especially those at the Jets.
Played with Jason Hetherington, Butch Hetherington in his day.
Troy Geese is out of play. Troy Geese is out of play.
We're back in the contest here, Ipswich. As Redcliffe looking to work their way out of their own half. Pete Bedell sideline.
Even better news for Ipswich. Nat Neal, he will be back in this game. He's on the sideline. He's got his elbow taped up. He's doing some contact work now. He could be thrust back into the fray very shortly.
Redcliffe looking to shift. Brendan Lee well wrapped up. Kick coming from Marshall. It's a high one. Good luck. Well, Jonas Pearson took it. Now inside the Thompson Tete. The kick gets a ricochet. Sam Martinet dives on it, drops it. Back in the hands of the Dolphins. They can seal the contest here. Only 10 metres away. Lodge. Matt Lodge shrugging away from defenders. Swatting them like flies. Look at him go. He's only 2 metres away from the line. The pass finds Samson Graham. And he's 3 metres away. Pratt at acting half. And, well, that has to be a penalty, does it? No, he's going to call it a knock on. Well, it could have been a penalty for offside. Chris Ash was fast up off the line there to knock the ball down. No, he came off on his own line.
Yep, scrum here.
So there'll be a scrum feed coming the way of the Redcliffe Dolphins. Leading by 12, 30 minutes left.
Let's go, yep. Up you come in, switch. Hook his arms over. That's it. I'll tell you when, 7. Come on, Ipswich. Bend your backs back, keep your head in. Let's go, get your head in.
I'll feed the scrum here, Redcliffe.
Stay there. Nice and square, 7, when you're ready.
Hazard feeds it. Now Tete. Only 10 metres away.
Hand on ball there.
Hazard finds a straight runner. That's Sam Anderson. Benji Marshall working for something out on the right. Hazard. It goes to Marshall. Room to move. Turns to Ellie on his inside. He's brought down just a metre away from the line, and the ball comes free.
They had the overlap, didn't they? The ball went to Marshall out of 3-on-2 on that right-hand side. And it was Torelli was the one that actually came back inside. If he stayed on the outside and created that overlap, Marshall would have been able to play numbers short or long.
Sam Anderson getting some running repairs as we're about to have the scrum that'll be fed for Ipswich. Let's get a comment. Sideline, Peter Bedell.
Yeah, that was heroic defence there by Ipswich. And I know, Salty, you mentioned earlier, Chris Ash. I can tell you that 2 weeks ago I spoke to Darren Lockyer at the Ipswich-Townsville game, and he had a really big rap on Chris Ash. He just liked his touches around the rucks and the way he threw himself into the contest, and he made a big tackle there to stop a Redcliffe try. So could be a turning point.
We'll win the scrum here, the Jets.
17, give him room.
They will get up and play it. 12-point ball game. Still plenty of time here for Ipswich. And he had to wait for that one, Billy McConaughey. And now the ball comes loose. Brendan Lee gives it straight away to Christian Hazard. It's been a story of the afternoon for Ipswich. Handing the ball over to Redcliffe. Lee again with a hit up. Eventually he'll get to his feet and play it. Pratt. Now Benji Marshall. Oh, what about the contact on Marshall? The hit as he passed it.
Billy McConaughey has absolutely levelled Benji Marshall. It wasn't illegal. It's just as he passed this ball.
Bang.
Benji he's holding his shoulder. We know that he's had shoulder injuries in his career. Oh. I mean, that's just good contact. He really commits to the tackle, and courage for Benji also. Really dug into the line, but he's come off worse for wear here.
Just look at this from Billy McConaughey. Bang. He's going from the field here, Benji Marshall. He's getting a big reception from the local crowd.
Well, let's hope that's not serious. Let's not hope it's a reoccurrence of the multiple shoulder reconstructions that he's had in his great career.
Yeah, you're right, Scott. You don't want to see him out of the game. We've seen his great kicking game this afternoon.
Just lay back, stand back.
We've also seen he's just flexing his hand. So is it something more arm than shoulder? He's provided plenty of highlights for us this afternoon, Benji Marshall.
He was contacted on that high part of the right shoulder from McConaughey. Sometimes when you hold your arm like that, that's the easiest way to relieve the pain that's in that joint.
I know you'll get an update very soon, Pete, down on the sideline there. There's a penalty going to the Ipswich Jets. I know you get an update very soon, but he's not too far away from you, Benji Marshall.
No, he wasn't salty, and he just said a few words to the trainers. Like, they weren't audible, but I think it's his wrist. He was sort of holding his right wrist and then moving his fingers. So I'll get an update and a prognosis. But that is one of the dangers, though, guys. When you play deep into the line like that, and he wasn't eyes up, he wasn't looking, he's always in danger of copying a heavy shot.
Rose brought down.
You see when Benji plays, when he goes into the line, you can see him sort of looking, you can see him looking through the corner of his eye, knowing what's going on the outside of his peripheral vision. But he couldn't see where McConaughey was coming from because McConaughey was behind him. He's always aware of what's going on around him, the 180 degrees, but...
The grubber kick will come. Conlon regathers. Great piece of skill from the Jets #1. Now he's eluding defenders. Still going Wes Conlon. Tawelli and Hazard makes the tackle. Rowe goes in on his own down the short side. Now Tortow. They come back to the open. Phillips, long pass. Ash. They've got numbers here, Ipswich. Now Galton gives the pass away to the winger, Richard Pandia, who scores. Try awarded the Ipswich Jets. Great play from them.
Well, this has started by Purcell with that grubber for himself. But when the ball gets out here to Ash, there's an overlap. There's about 4-on-2 defenders, and the defenders are backing off there. That option's underneath, and they play to the outside where they get a 2-on-1, and Pandia finishes it off beautifully. And this long ball here from Phillips gets out to Chris Ash. There's an opportunity for Ash to go under as well, 2 players in Sam Neal, but Galton plays the ball beautifully to the outside. Nice flat pass.
Well, the third goal kicker for the afternoon for the Ipswich Jets, Makari Beattie. It's an important one, and the ball falls off the tee. Well, he's just got to take his time here, surely.
He's come back 29 metres from the trial, and that's a big distance that he's got to cover.
I want to know, do Ipswich have, well, he moves in. If he'd gone a little bit closer, he might have got there. But it lands at the 10-metre line. They have something going at Ipswich. As soon as you miss one, you've got to hand it over to someone else. You just keep going because it's their third goal kick of the afternoon.
If you didn't have a hand in that try at all, you get nominated to kick the goal.
Pete Bedell, sideline.
Oh, what about that kick? It was Cyclone Debbie that blew it back. Unbelievable, but that's kept Redcliffe firmly in control. And hasn't Nathan Galton been an outstanding player this afternoon on the right side, just filling in for Sevi? That was a great pass. Just an update on Benji Marshall. It is his wrist. Let's hope it's not serious.
McConaughey. We certainly hope it isn't serious there for Benji.
Has been good Galton, hasn't he, since he's come on the right-hand centre. Been advised by Adrian Vowles that he's a proud Charleville boy.
Lafipo, good offload to Conlon. Where's Conlon? Well, he needed a straight runner there. Beattie. Now Ash. Martin. Good tackle, Thompson Tetse initially there on Martin, bringing him to the ground. Now Beattie, they're on a roll here, Ipswich. Into Redcliffe territory already. Rowe. They wrap the ball up well there, Troy Geese. Now Beattie again. He's got a new lease on life here, Makari Beattie. Phillips inside, Ash. Staying as a line, this Ipswich defence. Almost passed to himself there, but here they go across field. Tetse tried to make the tackle, but Galton's got it. He throws it out the back. Now Tortow, Husky Tortow brought down about 15 metres behind where the initial play the ball occurred. Last play coming up. He takes on Purcell, and that kick, well, Tueli wasn't there. It might have been a try there for Ipswich, because there was a play on his outside, but he did well there. Did Miles Tueli. 5.5 minutes left. Matt Lodge, just his own side of halfway. I want to send it to a cheerio this afternoon to all of those listening right across the state who have been battling floods and Cyclone Debbie over the course of the last week, and more floods to come, of course, too, for parts of central Queensland. Thinking of you all, whether you've started your clean-up or bracing yourself for more flood water. Thoughts of everyone right across the state, certainly with you.
Time off.
So just under five minutes left. 8 points the margin. They need to score off this set, you'd think, Ipswich.
Let's go. Come on.
There's a lot of real estate, though, between them and the touch line and the try line. 90 metres to negotiate.
Bend your backs, nice and tight. I'll tell you when, Dane, wait. When you're ready, tie back on.
Go down the short side.
16, up now, stay square. One. Yours. Stay square.
Conakey will get up and play it. Now Ash, long pass.
Yours, Josh.
Galton had Pandia on his outside. Not held initially, they said, and the ball comes out the back but knocked on. So that could well be the ball game.
Australia, meet your new McCafe blend. Roasted and blended in Melbourne. Smoother, richer, and crafted for Aussies who love great coffee. The new McCafe blend. Now that's coffee fit for an Aussie.
Let's go. Heads down. Bend your backs. I'll tell you when, Tyson. Head in. Hold your weight. Put it in, Tyson. Put it in.
Gamble feeds the scrum.
Yours.
Now Tete. Has it at acting half. Anderson. Good run, Sam Anderson. It's been his rock solid, consistent best once again this afternoon as Anderson. Samson Graham now. He's 9 metres away. Can they finish it with a try here? Pratt. Lodge. Long pass. Behag. He throws it behind Soali. Now they're looking to pack the scrum.
Well, the scoreline definitely doesn't reflect the game, because I would have thought the Redcliffe, with the possession they had in the opposition's half, they probably should have won this by a lot more, Pete.
They kept inviting Ipswich back into the contest. Pete Bedell mentioned it earlier about the message from Adam Mogg said, don't try to play Ipswich at their own game, stick to your own game plan. And well, they've been guilty of that a fair bit this afternoon, of just trying to match Ipswich by doing an Ipswich on Ipswich.
Yeah, and a lot of teams are guilty of it.
Oh, solid contacts on McConaughey.
We remember a game last year that we covered for Channel 9 when Samson Graham, the number 17, was playing for
the Capras,
Central Capras, against the PNG Hunters. He did 62 tackles. He was a machine that day when they beat the Hunters. There he is again in that tackle there.
He just keeps tackling to Samson Graham. Got a great motor on him. Long pass from Phillips, finds Martin and Pandya. He just bobbled that one. Knock on. It went to hand there from Galton to Pandya. Something might have been on there because they were caught short. Had the numbers there, Ipswich.
So they get the outside. The pass gets the outside. Sam Martin just needs to deliver a nice ball to Galton and away they go. But
Trainers, let's go. Trainers off.
it's happened quite a bit this afternoon where you look at the errors there, 16 against 15, and I think the 16 errors from the Jets are probably, that surprises me, the statistic actually. I thought it would have been a lot more from the Jets. I think their mistakes have probably been a lot more glaring than what Redcliffe's have.
Sorting out a mixed bag this afternoon. Gamble goes through. He's been good this afternoon, Tyson Gamble.
A couple of his defensive efforts really late in the game have been important ones, Gamble.
Tete. Here's Samson Graham. Pratt. Lodge. Matt Lodge edging towards the line. Penalty. Yeah. Player taken out. It was Troy Geese who was taken out without the ball.
He's hit on suspicion, which, you know, you see their number 12 going through the line. And Galton, nice little love tap, which sometimes you have to do.
As okay as Troy Geese. Now Anderson, 3 metres away into the final minute. Lodge, Matt Lodge, desperate for a try. Pratt. And the penalty will come here, they're saying offside. So winding down the clock here, Redcliffe. And now they're saying they're going to take the no, there was a call coming from the sideline to say take the 2, but they've ignored it. Only 2 metres away from the line. Graham will play it. Pratt will get up eventually to play it. Pratt, out they go. Hazard steps off the right. Good tackle, Tyson Lafipo. Pratt again. Now Anderson pops it out the back to Pratt. This one goes behind Hazard. Picks it up as Brendan Lee. He might fancy himself to score a try, but he'll succumb to the tackle. And that's the end of the contest in a game that had just about everything this afternoon. The Redcliffe Dolphins have defeated the Ipswich Jets here at round 5 action, 28 points to 20.
Today's Q Plus broadcast is proudly presented by Super Cheap Auto, everything auto and much, much more. And Intrust Super, at your service.